Okay, hello all. This is meant for year 11 to 12, those on to do A-level maths. I'm going to go through questions 6 to 9 on the index laws questions. A few people had asked for a bit of help. Okay, question 6 says we've got to write 3 minus x to the 3 over 2 over the square root of x in polynomial form. What I mean by that is it's got to be just powers of x. So we need to simplify this thing. The first thing to do is to recognise that you've actually got two fractions here. You've got 3 over root x and x to the 3 over 2 over root x. So I'm going to write it as two separate fractions. And at the same time, instead of writing a square root sign, I'm going to write it in index form. And square root of x is the same as x to the half. So now I've got two fractions. I'm sure you remember from early in year 11 that if you've got to divide by x to the power of something, that just makes the power negative. So this is the same as that. And also the second rule of indices, which you probably did in about year 9, if you're dividing two numbers with powers and the base number is the same, so in this case it's x, so x to the 3 over 2 divided by x to the half. But when you're dividing, you may remember that you take away the powers. So we need to do 3 over 2, take away 1 over 2 is 2 over 2, which we'll just write as a 1. That is how you do question 6. Question 7, we need to solve 3 to the 2x plus 1 times by 9 to the x equals 27. The initial problem with this one is that our base numbers are all different. But the canny ones among you will spot that this is a power of 3, obviously, 9 is a power of 3, and 27 is also a power of 3. So I can rewrite this whole equation all in terms of powers of 3. This one stays the same. 9 is 3 squared to the x, and 27 is 3 cubed. I'm just going to tidy this one up a little bit. You will remember from year 9 or 10 about the third rule of indices. If you've got a number to a power and a bracket to a power, then you can simplify it by multiplying the two powers together. So 3 to the power 2x plus 1 times 3 to the power 2x equals 3 to the power 3. We're getting there. Let's just apply the first rule of indices. We've got 3 to the something times 3 to the something else. You may remember what you do to the powers. You add the powers. So we have got 3 to the power 4x plus 1 equals 3 to the power 3. Well, if 3 to the power of this equals 3 to the power of that, then this and that have to be the same. So 4x plus 1 has to be 3. 4x equals 3 minus 1, which is 2. So x equals a half. I'm running out of ink. Okay, that's how you do questions 6 and 7. Let me change a pen and get on with question 8. Alright, question 8. That says solve 2 to the power 2x minus 3 times by 4 to the power x plus 2 equals 8. Well, this one is actually very similar to number 7. Number 7 was about powers of 3. This one, as I'm sure you can see, is about powers of 2. So this one is already a power of 2, so that can stay the same. 4 is 2 squared to the x plus 2, and 8 is 2 to the power 3. Let's just tidy this one up a bit. So I've got 2 to the power 2x minus 3 times by 2 to the power 2 times the whole of that is 2x plus 4, and that equals 2 to the power of 3. First rule of indices, got two numbers here, same base number, different powers, or even if it's the same power. If I'm multiplying the two numbers together, I can just add the indices. So I've got 2 to the power 4x plus 1 equals 2 to the power 3. So therefore, 4x plus 1 has to be 3. If 2 to the power of this is the same as 2 to the power of that, then this and that have to be the same. So 4x equals 2x, once again, is a half. Right, I'm going to see if I can squeeze number 9 in down here. It says, write this thing, 6 root x plus 4x to the minus 3 over 2 over 2x cubed. We have to write it in polynomial form, so just in terms of powers of x, no fractions, no bits and pieces. As with number 6, we've got here two fractions. So I'm going to write it as two separate fractions rather than as one large fraction, and at the same time I'm going to rewrite this square root as x to the half. So I've got 6x to the half over 2x cubed plus 4x to the minus 3 over 2 over 2x cubed. Right, let's deal with the numbers first. 6 over 2 is 3, 4 over 2 is 2. And those are the numbers that they wanted in the question. Right, let's deal with the powers. I'm dividing, so I subtract the powers. A half, take away 3, is minus 2.5. I'd rather write it as minus 5 over 2. Similarly here, minus 3 over 2 minus 3 is minus 4.5, better known as minus 9 over 2. And there's your answer. Right guys, well I hope that helped. Obviously press pause, rewind, restart, whatever, anything to help you out.